Welcome to the Cryptonomatron, and today I'm doing a review on Puregold. Puregold is an ICO. It's going to be the first payment gateway using cryptocurrency that's backed by gold. There are other currencies, cryptocurrencies, that are backed by gold or have gold as their reason for investing in them, but this is the first one that's going to have a payment gateway, so you'll be able to actually spend tokens that are backed by gold. So there are a few competitors in the crypto sector that intend to produce a cryptocurrency that is backed by gold. One of them is 1 gram. One token of 1 gram, or 1 OG I think it is backed by 1 gram of gold, much like the Puregold PGG token is backed by 1 gram of gold, and we'll discuss the token economics a bit later on for this ICO. But let's go through the competitors now. Another interesting article I found was actually UK's Royal Mint is launching their own gold-backed cryptocurrency as well. They're not the only a national institution that is doing so. The Perth Mint in Australia is doing the same thing. They are planning a gold-backed cryptocurrency as well. I'll leave the link to these articles below. There's another one for Perth Mint as well. And another ICO that turned up with a gold-backed crypto asset was this Gold Mint. So there are quite a few of them. Now the difference between these ones and Puregold is that Puregold are actually planning to have two different tokens. Puregold will have the PGG token, and that will be backed by 1 gram of gold, and they will also have a utility token for the ecosystem called the PGT, and that will essentially allow the interaction on the blockchain. So if you want to buy the gold in PGG form, then you can use the PGT token as well, and you'll also be able to trade the PGT token on exchanges and send it as a payment for peer-to-peer payments, etc. So a little bit different. They're not just an asset or a crypto asset. So here are the problems they're wanting to solve. And the first one is obviously physical gold. It can't be used as a currency in the modern era. It's too big, bulky and heavy. We're used to seamless transactions, carrying credit cards. We need convenience, and carrying about gold bars or gold jewelry or gold coins isn't going to be the future. It's as simple as that. Number two, fiat currencies have no intrinsic value. Now, you've probably heard people talking about Bitcoin's intrinsic value, of which it has many actually. If you bother, you can Google and find out. Andreas Antonopoulos is always talking about Bitcoin's intrinsic value. There is more value in a digital storage than there is in paper money. It's as simple as that. Now, even if the government backs paper money, the government is in debt. It effectively is a Ponzi scheme. The longer this will go on, the more risk of collapse, and effectively that is a Ponzi scheme. Unlimited returns are what Ponzi schemes promise, and the dollar is exactly that. They keep printing it. They just borrowed another $1 trillion the other day. Need I go on? And the debt will never be paid off. It's impossible. So that's the pure definition of a Ponzi. And fiat currencies simply have no intrinsic value anymore, because I think it was in 1971, was it Nixon, President of the US, depegged the dollar from the gold reserves, so there was no backing for the dollar. Effectively, it's only belief now. The only thing that backs the dollar, as well as many other national currencies around the globe, is the fact that they're backed by the government, they're legal tender if you like, and they're backed by debt as well. Those are the only things that are behind them, and as such, they have no intrinsic value. Number three, I mentioned that just there. There's no gold standard anymore. Nixon actually did away with the gold standard, which means there's no way, if you hold US dollars or any other currency, there's no value of gold behind it. Number four, no crypto can yet purchase gold commodities. There are a few that are attempting to do so. This one will make it much, much easier for you to actually just go in and purchase grams of gold using their peer-to-peer payment service. And number 5, there's no means to invest in gold using cryptocurrency. That is now being solved by a few of these new cryptos that I mentioned in the last section, and also Puregold are looking to do that as well, so that people that want a hedge for their crypto, they can invest in the PGG token, which will be backed by a gram of gold. So their aims essentially are to be the first payment gateway for cryptocurrency backed by gold. That's essentially what they're going to do. PGG will be the token that is actually supported by the gold. So 1 PGG will be 1 gram of gold. And obviously that will vary depending how many grams of gold that they actually own. And they will be audited. They will reflect in the amount of PGG. But there's no problem with inflation here because every PGG is backed by gold. So the more gold they have in the vault, the more PGG tokens they can issue. And it's not inflationary because they're not printing money, they're not making money up. They will be audited, it will be on the blockchain, and they are going to have another utility token as well called the PGT, and that will enable the swapping between the PGG token, which is the gold-backed token, and the PGT token, which is the utility token. Now, the reason they want to do this is quite simple. It means you can keep your assets backed by gold in the PGG tokens, but you can also spend your cryptocurrency, should you choose to, using their platform with the PGT token, if that makes sense. So they're already a business. They have been since 2010, so they're already established in Singapore. And they've also got a online store where you can use gold as currency for all the buying and selling. The website's www.bullioncurrencies.com, and they've won awards before. They've been on Lazada for quite a long time. Puregold.sg, I believe, is their website. And I think, if I'm not wrong, I actually have visited one of their stores in Singapore and made a purchase there, so for some gift for my girlfriend at the time. So I've already been aware of this business in Singapore. They're already making revenue. They've already got a gold factory. So they're just really wanting to implement blockchain technology to take their business a step further and digitize gold. By digitizing gold, it opens up the market for a whole plethora of new possibilities. You can hedge your crypto basically with the gold reserves. Traditionally, gold has been a store of value and also been a currency previously when it was minted into coins. But you know, now it still is something that a lot of people would like to invest in. So having it digitally available is going to interest a lot of investors. So the target market for Puregold are cryptocurrency traders, and they're going to be able to use the PGG tokens as a guard against cryptocurrency volatility. You will also have standard participants. Maybe they want to diversify their portfolio of cryptocurrencies as well. And also you will have e-commerce and self-employed individuals that can use the PGT token as a payment service for goods and services from merchants or as merchants themselves. It's low volatility as an asset, they say, and its predictability will make it an invaluable form of currency. Okay, the market for payment gateways or cashless payments is rising rapidly, as you can imagine. Cash is on the way out and digital payments are on the way in. And now we're seeing the potential for cryptocurrency and the blockchain model taking over from inferior payment services like PayPal and Skrill and other money services on the internet. Now, the reason for that obviously is that the blockchain's an immutable ledger, and it can be used in a far more transparent manner than any other payment method at the moment. So as soon as it can scale to the size that it's required, I think Visa processes something like 48,000 transactions a second. As soon as there's a blockchain that will manage to do that, on-chain or off-chain, whichever it is, then you know, the doors will open for this to be accepted universally, and it will get mass adoption. So it's continuing to rise anyway for digital payments. Cashless transactions were over 430 billion in 2015, and mobile payments are going to exceed 3.8 trillion by 2020. So there's a massive marketplace here for online digital payments, especially with mobile devices, as the trend seems to be moving away from traditional credit card devices to using your mobile phone as a one-stop shop, as a one-tool operation, so you can basically wave your phone in front of a scanner and it'll automatically pay. So I just have to mention one thing when we're taking into account the market here. You know, you might be asking yourself, well, who's gonna buy gold? You know, if you can use other payment services like Utrust or 10x or all these other you know, payment services, like even Omisa Go and some other ones as well. You know, who's going to want to use this? Well, they're not backed by anything. They're just providing a service between, say, the merchant and the buyer, and they will charge fees accordingly. The beauty of Puregold is your transactions are basically effectively backed by the gold that you own in the PGG tokens. And this is attractive because gold has traditionally been certainly a lot more stable than cryptocurrency. But also it's been a secure and reliable store of value as well. So a lot of people might decide, you know, that having this digital gold is preferable to, say, having your money in Bitcoin, for example, or another digital asset. So they're going to use the Ethereum blockchain. They say because it's the most widely accepted at the moment. It also is the one that can provide smart contracts, which is what they need to ensure the transaction can reach consensus and auditable, consistent results. And they also don't want to use anything experimental at this current stage. So the Ethereum blockchain is proven to be quite reliable, although scalability is still an issue, obviously. It's their preferred one to use. And you will also be able to build your own or develop your own apps on the back of the Puregold platform. So if you want to integrate your own applications, you can also do so. There'll be APIs provided as well to integrate with third-party apps too. So looking at the tech now, the Puregold platform will firstly consist of the safe house or the storage unit, and it's ISO 9001 certified. It's a proper vault. It can hold over 600 metric tons of silver and 30 tons of gold as well, and platinum, and it will basically be the place that all the gold is stored that backs the PGG token. It has very comprehensive insurance, they claim, which in Singapore I wouldn't imagine is that big a problem. I don't think bank robberies are that common there at all. So the second part of the platform will be the gold commerce platform with the PG Pay payment gateway. Now, from this white paper here, I draw your attention to this paragraph. This explains pretty much what it is. They are building a gold commerce platform for a digital gold payments era. People will be able to store, spend and exchange gold in the same way as they would any other currency, but in a quicker, cheaper and more secured environment than what is available now in traditional bank or fiat currency. The gold commerce platform will be the decentralized core that interlocks the restricted financial world we live in today with an futuristic gold economy with limitless and borderless opportunities. So very exciting vision they've got, and I think aside from an investment standpoint, it could be that a lot of people would like to use this, given that having your assets in gold could be a good way to hedge against the volatility of cryptocurrencies, and also be able to spend them as well, not just have them secure in a vault somewhere. These are going to be accessible to you. So the medium is going to be the smartphone, as we mentioned earlier. No cards here, no need. Again, contactless payment terminals are becoming ubiquitous in many retail outlets, especially in Asia. They have them in nearly every 7-Eleven in Thailand, and that's probably over 14,000 alone. And basically what it is you have the app. or the software installed on your mobile phone, and then when you go to make a payment, you wave it in front of the sensor, it detects it, and then you pay accordingly. And that's how they want to set this payment platform up. It's probably the best way to do it. Not everybody uses mobile payment apps at the moment. I've seen a few people using them, but they're not that common. You know, cash is still pretty much preferred here in Thailand, but there are other methods that you can use, or you know, you could use cards, but certainly for smaller purchases it's easier just to use cash or your phone. And I think eventually people are going to be using the mobile device a lot more as we move away from traditional paper money to digital money. So another benefit that cashless gold currency payments will have is that you can basically pay over the border for things, and it will actually be backed by your gold. So you know, somebody in another country will be buying some gold off of you essentially when you make payment for their goods or services. So it allows commerce to be global, cashless, digital, and also importantly borderless. So the advantage of making and receiving payments in gold, from a payer's point of view here, referring to the white paper again, if the price of gold increases, then you can make use of that increase to make payments when buying products. So essentially you will get the product for a bit less. And also the payer will not need to pay a transaction fee when they're paying a merchant or business entity for products and services. So the exchange rate of gold versus the currency you're paying in will be your spot price. There won't be any fees. But from the payee's point of view, they will pay a fee. They will pay a transaction fee of 1%. But the Puregold claim that is attractive because it's only 1% above the spot price, and it's a lot more attractive than you would get buying gold even from an exchange. So the mobile app is going to launch in January 2018. I don't know if it's available at the moment. I will check, but some of the functions and features of the mobile app will be the gold currency exchange, the transaction history. You can manage your payment details, change the currencies, payment time, shopping methods, etc. You can get new store connections, and also they were building a customized loyalty and cashback program as well. There's some screenshots from the app on the white paper. So even more features for the app. Conversion between gold currencies and fiat money on Puregold's platform will become available after the ICO. This will also increase the speed of payments. It now takes approximately 1 minute, so it's going to get even faster. Obviously, costs will reduce as well, which is another benefit. There will be flexibility here, wide range of payment solutions, and reliability as well. So they've been testing and developing for many years at Puregold. They know what's required, and they have this vision of using gold as digital money, which they've been striving to do for a few years now. They've also developed API, so you can display a QR code if you're a merchant and receive the payments using that. And of course, as I mentioned before, the platform will be open, meaning that you can develop and integrate your own products, like your own gold currency wallets, exchanges, systems for payments, loyalty programs, billing, etc., etc. So the other thing that we have to discuss with the technology is the offline facilities that Puregold offer. Now, they're already established, as I said before. They already actually have a very interesting gold dispenser machine network, so you can actually go and buy gold from a machine. Fantastic, and you'll also be able to access them if you have your cryptocurrency as well. They're going to have a stored value card with your cryptocurrency on it. You'll be able to use at these terminals, and also at the payment terminals as well. So they've thought of everything. They're covering all bases. I would imagine they would be keen to roll out in Singapore first before they go anywhere else. And if it gets adopted there, as their gold dispenser machines have already been done, then that will be some way in making this project a success. So let's take a look at the token uses, and there are quite a few for both the tokens. remember that the PGG token is the one that is pegged to the value of gold, and that will represent 1 gram of gold, and it will actually be 1 gram in a vault in Singapore that will represent. So if you buy a PGG token, you will have 1 gram of gold in the vault. The PGT token is the utility token that needs to fuel the ecosystem of the blockchain. Therefore, it will be used to pay fees and be used for transactions in the peer-to-peer payment network. So there will be 50 million PGT tokens issued. It doesn't matter about the number of PGG tokens because it will depend entirely on how much gold they have in the vault, how many PGG tokens they decide to issue. So however many grams of gold they have will equal the amount of PGG tokens. So firstly, looking at the PGG token, it is the digitized gold asset that's issued by Puregold that is pegged to the gold, basically the gold price. It will equal to 1 gram of gold with a variation of 4%. And the physical gold it will represent will be stored by, bullion bars, coins, gold jewellery, or granules that are stamped by the manufacturer, and the values will be Moody's, Standards & Poor and Fitch as well. And all the ratings will be confirmed by bank statements which are sent to the blockchain, so you'll be able to check everything. It will all be audited and transparent as you would expect from Singapore. So the PGT, as I mentioned, is the utility token. It will be used to pay or offset transaction fees on the Gold Commerce platform. It will be used to pay or offset the transaction fees wherever the token holders perform any transactions on the Gold platform. So that could be if you're buying gold with fiat currencies, selling gold, or just making payments to merchants. And if you use the PGT token, then you will get a discount of 50%, which incentivizes people to use it rather than use the fiat currency. And PGT can be exchanged for PGG at a rate announced by Puregold at any point in time. And it will be expected that the retaining earnings from the gold commerce will increase the stockpile of gold held in storage, which will increase the supply of PGG accordingly, which could indeed see your PGT tokens rise in price and value. And from time to time, if you are holding PGT tokens, you may be rewarded with PGG by Puregold in proportion to how many that you actually hold. The token sale is currently live. As you can see, they have raised 4.819 million already out of their hard cap for the main ICO of 20 million. The ICO is running for another 33.5 days. So plenty of time to get involved, but if this gets any more hype, then it may sell out, so keep your eye on it just in case. And this is how they're going to conduct it. They've had 2 stages. A pre-ICO already happened between December and 6th of January. That was with a 20% bonus. I don't know how much they sold. I couldn't find any information. They had 700 PGT to 1 Ethereum. Minimum was 3 Ethereum, and 10 million was the hard cap. 10 million PGT, I should say, was the hard cap. So I'm not sure if they actually achieved the hard cap or not. However, the ICO is live now. It will run till the 14th of March. You can see there's a depreciating bonus scheme going. Today is the last day for the 15% bonus. It will drop to 10 and then 5 and then no bonus from the 26th of Feb to the 14th of March. And the current exchange rate is the same as the pre-sale. Minimum investment is 0.1 Ether, and the hard cap is set at 40 million PGT tokens. So there we are. As an additional incentive for purchasers during the ICO, you will receive 1 free PGG token, essentially a gram of gold, for every 1 Ether swapped. So it'll be rounded down. So if you purchase with 1.1 Ether, you'll get 1 PGG token. They're not divisible They are a whole number only, and they will be issued after the ICO is finished. So the total bounty program pool will amount to 2% of all the tokens sold during the ICO. So up to 1 million PGT tokens, equivalent to 1,428 ETH, are going to be reserved for the bounty campaign. And it will, of course, depend on the actual amount raised during the ICO. So the more the ICO raises, the more we will get as bounty hunters, I guess. So I'm going to submit this video as usual. If there is an opportunity to do so, I will, and that's the only time I really earn, other than affiliate links. I believe this campaign has both an affiliate system and also a bounty campaign. So my affiliate link will be below. Thank you for using it, all that invest in ICOs. It helps a little bit. It also gets you a little bit of a bonus as well. So yeah, thanks for that. I do appreciate it. Well, this bounty campaign is much the same as many others. The breakdown is as follows. They have a translation campaign, which 20% will be allocated to. They have an article and videos campaign, blogging campaign or vlogging campaign. 30% will be allocated to that. The signature campaign on Bitcoin Talk Forum, which will be 35%. The subscription campaign of 5%. A Telegram campaign of 5%. And then 5% for any other activity. As usual, follow the rules. I will leave the link below. If you're interested in participating in this bounty campaign, you'll find it in the description. So let's look at the timeline now. They were established in 2010 in Singapore as Puregold.sg. I have heard of the brand before. I am a frequent visitor to Singapore, so that brand is has been on my radar previously. They won an Asia Pacific Top Excellence Brand Award in 2012, also showcased in the Singapore Visitor Centre in 2013, and they launched Asia's first gold ATM machine that dispenses real gold, can you believe? And that was last year, January last year, about a year ago. They've also opened in Malaysia and Vietnam and started buying more raw gold there. They were award winners again in 2017. They won Lazada's top 5 most competitive seller award as well. Bearing in mind, and I'll say this again, that gold is very popular in Asia, especially physically owning gold, trading in gold, buying gold, selling gold. It's very, very popular in Asia. Asians still see gold as a very, very valuable storage of wealth, and they like it. So bear that in mind. You might be sitting in the US and Connecticut, or in England somewhere, in Nottingham, or wherever you are, and you might not be aware of that if you're not that well traveled. But let me tell you, you know, in certain parts of the world, particularly Asia, gold is a very valued commodity. So another positive behind this ICO. And in 2017, they launched bullioncurrencies.com, which is their online trading platform. The ICO obviously happening at the moment. In 2018, they look to expand to Indonesia, Thailand, and other countries. They're also going to establish the PGP as the leading digital gold payment gateway. And then eventually, they have the aspiration to actually have an initial public offering on a major stock exchange, taking their business to the mainstream, which I think is a very good vision for the future. So looking at the team now, as you would imagine, most of them are based in Singapore. Andy Lowe is the CEO and founder. Now, he's already a founder of Puregold, which is a reputable gold and bullion currency company. And obviously, he's issued the first gold ATM machine in Asia, which is very interesting. Michael Tan is Chief of Sales. He has also been involved with financial advising. And Christopher Bridges has been involved in the COS and Zilla ICOs that were fairly recent. There are a few other people here as well that are interesting. Sean Tam, Chief of Marketing. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's run his own companies and he imported exotic cars. It's a very expensive business to be in in Singapore, they are very expensive, even more expensive than they are here in Thailand, which is hard to believe because they're about 6 to 10 times more expensive than in Europe or the US, and that's no joke. So yep, these guys have got obviously the connections where they are. They've obviously been part of successful businesses before, and you know, this is a competent team, I would say. It's not an all-star team in terms of you know, the blockchain guys. I don't think they don't have any real all-stars on there. No offense to the people that are on the team, but they are certainly very, very competent and experienced. And again, as I'll always say, if I have any doubts over the team, I will voice them. Certainly no doubts here. I think this is pretty much what we expect from a company of this nature and an ICO of this size. So I was surfing through the internet and I came across this photo from an English football league game. I'm not sure, it's not that clear who's playing here, but their partners Jetcoin themselves and COS, which is the exchange that came off ICO quite recently, have obviously been spending money to advertise at English football. So again, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Jetcoin are a listed partner on the website, and COS, one of the team members has been involved at COS as well. So the partners include the Safe House, which is the storage facility for the precious metals, Puregold.sg, obviously the company that Andy Lowe founded in 2010 and was the inspiration for this ICO, Bullion Currencies, which I mentioned earlier, which is the online gateway, and Jetcoin Institute, which I don't know much about, another cryptocurrency perhaps. I'll need to check them out. Also, Puregold is a corporate member of Access, and Access are apparently the Singapore Cryptocurrency and Blockchain Industry Association. So community support is where this project really lacks, and it's going to cost them in the final score, unfortunately. They only have 549 members on their Telegram group, and that is not sufficient for a cryptocurrency to gain traction on the exchanges. Not enough people know about this ICO, not enough people invested in the ICO, and that may explain why they've only raised just a little bit under $5 million so far. So we could do with more community support. Hopefully this video will go some way in doing that for them. You know, this project deserves a little bit more attention than it's already getting. And again, their Twitter is very poorly subscribed to, which is a shame. And at least it's not a fake Twitter account. They've only got 3 fake followers. I did the audit on it as per usual. But yeah, community is where this is let down, and that could cost them, and it could put a lot of people off. So hopefully we can get some more followers on their groups, and they can build a community behind this project, because as you know, every successful project needs a strong community. Now for the verdict, and first off, as usual, the positives. So number one positive is that they already have existing gold businesses and revenue coming in from that, and using the blockchain is a natural progression, especially now they have an online portal for buying and selling gold. The blockchain and the digitally backed currency will give them an additional value to their business. Number two, another positive, low supply. 50 million is a low supply these days. Number three, they're based in Singapore and Southeast Asia. Gold is very common around here, and it's still used you know, as payment, used in pawn shops. It's used to pay for things. It's still very, very common and very sought after. So that is a bonus being based in this area, and it's much more common than it is in the West or other areas of the world, for example. Number four, this makes investing in gold with crypto easy and accessible. So those looking to hedge or those looking for a less volatile and more stable investment can get involved really easily here. Number five, the payments gateway could offer additional value over the competitors, and you know, it could be a selling point for this particular cryptocurrency in the fact that you can maintain your crypto or your assets in the gold-backed crypto, but also be able to spend them quite easily wherever you go, at retail outlets. You can even get gold from the dispensing machines, etc. And number 6, I believe personally that digital currencies backed by gold will be massive. Now, the reason I say this is that gold has always been a traditional store of value. It is not that volatile these days. And it's something, if you've got a currency, a digital currency that's backed by this, then it's going to be very stable. And we see a lot of volatility in the market, especially over the last month and a bit. You know, it has really been up and down quite significantly. So there is there will be a clamour for digital currencies backed by gold, simply because it'll be the way I believe that everybody in the future will make their gold purchases. They will probably buy them online with their mobile device with other cryptocurrency, and you know, you'll be able to effectively diversify your portfolio by owning digital currencies that are backed by gold. Number 7, the team have already successfully implemented innovative technologies, the gold dispensing machines being one of them. So, you know, there's no question that they can implement this. And another little bonus here, you receive 1 PGG, which represents 1 gram of gold in value for every ether that you spend on the ICO. So it's a nice little bonus. You're getting something for nothing, and it gets you on the road to owning more crypto backed by gold. So it's you know, it's a nice touch. As ever, there are negatives. This ICO, no exception. None of them are. Number 1 is obviously community support for this project is very poor. They really need more community support to get this project gaining traction on the exchanges. Otherwise it will appear and nobody will have heard of it, and it might just be a damp squib. So let's hope more people get behind this. Number 2, again, goes hand in hand with number 1. Not enough hype behind this. You know, we need to get this hyped up. Especially if we're potential investors. We like to see people talking about this online. We like to see people sharing the links. We like to see, you know, the bigger YouTubers picking up on these kind of projects. You know, we like to see hype because it gives us a little bit of hope that once our investment goes onto the exchanges, it's going to get traction and increase in value. Number 3, another potential here is it might not reach the soft cap, which means that we'll end up getting our money back if we invest in this ICO, and that's not what we want to see. We want to see some success behind this. But again, I think the reason it might not is because of the first 2 negatives. Number 4 is a negative, is its high token price. Obviously, I like a low price with the relatively low supply. It gives more room to grow. A high token price over $1, and at the moment, I think 700 of these tokens, the Puregold tokens, the PGT for 1 ether, is quite high. I can still see potential growth here, but it's higher than I would have liked. And number 5 negative is there's no detail about the total tokens going to be supplied. It says 50 million will be supplied during the ICO, but no number of total, no number going to the team. I couldn't find any information on the distribution and the provided materials. And number 6, another negative, there's no smart contract for this project, which, you know, really when you're trying to raise millions of dollars, it's not acceptable. Number 7, they're also unclear about the token burning model, and what I mean by that is not only the tokens, what happens to the tokens if they don't sell. Say for example they meet the soft cap in the ICO and there's 20 million tokens unsold. What's going to happen to them? There is no note of that in the white paper. And also, they do mention a token burning model in terms of the PGT token being used for fees, etc., as part of the blockchain ecosystem. But they are unclear whether they're actually going to implement that burning model. Now, you really need to know that before you invest in this project, because if they're going to implement a burning model, it means there's going to be a bigger chance that the token will grow in value over time, as there will be a diminishing supply. So, with all that being said, let's look at the verdict, and it's tight like a tiger, and I'm giving this 3 out of 5 stars. I think gold-backed currencies will be very important. I can see this one succeeding. I believe the idea is good. They're already backed by a gold business. You know, that gives me confidence. There are a few aspects of this ICO I had my concerns about. Again, no smart contract. Community support is where they lost the stars from. Now, you know, if there was a multitude of people following this ICO, this would have got much, much higher marks than it already did. So, will I be investing in this ICO? I'm going to contemplate it. I'm going to think about it. I'm struggling for funds at the moment. I'll be honest with you, I've got so many projects on the go. You know, I might have to take a hiatus from investing, but this is certainly something that is going to be for the longer term. Maybe not one for flipping this, but certainly longer term, there's a lot of potential here, because again, you're going to be able to purchase the gold-backed digital currency, the PGG, with your PGT, and the fact that the PGT is going to be cheaper than buying in with fiat will give the utility token some value. So yeah, I like this project. But again, as ever, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If you're going to invest in ICOs, please bear in mind there is inherent risk in investing in them. You know, they're not a guarantee of making any money. Always do your own research, guys. Always do your own due diligence. Don't listen to YouTubers. You know, look at the projects yourself. Try to understand, you know, what you're getting into. Always invest cautiously. Always invest wisely. And please never invest more than you can afford to lose. And again, I will, with my second disclaimer, I don't get paid for these videos, guys. These are just purely my opinion, all right? So thanks for watching. I will return tomorrow with another ICO review. Don't know what it's going to be yet. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. If you enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe, please click the notification icon, and I'll see you tomorrow.